friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. Today's my topic is on a current topic which we have many videos on YouTube as well, saying that some are saying that you should come to Canada for fall 2020 intake or January 2021 intake. Some are saying you should not come. Okay, and I know there are many videos on that, and people are so confused that they should come to Canada for their fall 2020 intake or they should not. Okay, so in this video I'm gonna discuss pros of coming of studying for fall 2020 intake and cons of studying in fall 2020 intake. As in my most of the videos, I believe to analyze the situation, because every situation has pros and cons, and you must be aware about both the flip sides of the coin to take your own decision, because that's your life. Okay, so let's start. And yes, if you will like this video, please like, share and comment. Okay, so friends, for September 2020 intake, most of the colleges in Canada has mentioned that the classes are going to be online. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that you can be in your home country. You does not need to travel to Canada for your fall September 2020 intake, and you can continue your studies. Okay, so because everyone knows this is a pandemic situation due to COVID-19, you cannot travel internationally, so you can be at home and do your course. So first I'm going to discuss about the pros. Number one, the first pros of this is you can complete up to 50% of your studies online, and you would be eligible for postgraduate work permit diploma. Similarly, if you work that offline while going to college. So I will share the screen also in this video, which is on the Canadian immigration website, where all this thing is mentioned, but I'm explaining before that. So up to 50% of your studies you can complete online, no problem. You will have the same benefits of a person who is studying in Canada offline while going to colleges, if this was not the pandemic situation. Okay, so you can take it as a lifelong opportunity, like it's once in a life situation that you will have an international degree while studying at your home. What you're gonna do with that? So first thing, you can complete online studies. First thing, you're gonna save money, because when you're gonna complete 50% of your studies from home, what gonna happen then you're gonna save living expenses for up to 50% of your courses. So you don't need to pay for your accommodation, for your groceries, for your other stuff when you are in Canada. Definitely monetary wise it is much more economical. You are gonna save money. This is the number one pros. Okay, number two, if you start your fall intake September 2020 online, this is gonna save your time, because if you were planning to come to Canada, then definitely you were planning it much more earlier. It's not happens generally one day do you decide and second day you come to Canada. It takes time. It is a process, right? It is a process which takes months of preparation, right? It means you haven't applied any college in your back home. You are basically were prepared for your English test and waiting for the acceptance from the college, and applied for your visa, and now you were ready to come to Canada, right? So if you have decided to come to Canada, basically you have not kept any backup plan in your home country. So instead of wasting your time just by sitting at home and not joining your classes online, it is better to join your classes online. This will save your time, because you will have your international studies while being in home as well, right? So number two is time. Time definitely matters. For me it matters, and I believe most of you matters too, right? So first thing is money, second thing is time, third thing, number three, most of us either working back home or we have some part-time or anything, like we are already making money in our back home. Due to the difference of time zone, If I compare with India, it's roughly 12 hours difference. So when it is a day in Canada, it is night in India. So due to the time zone difference, if you can manage, I'm not saying do this, but if you can manage, then, well, like I was working full time when I applied for my application in Canadian college. I was working full time. So if you are also working full time in your back home and you were planning to come to Canada, you can continue your job as well as you can study online. I know it is difficult, it is not easy, it is a different, not different, it is a very different pattern of studies in Canada. So it will take a lot of you to understand how does it go. But if you can manage, then why not, right? So it is like shooting two birds with one stone. You're working, making money, you're studying online, you're an international student, right? Because why you're an international student? Because government is giving you the same weightage if you were working in physically in Canada, if it was not a pandemic situation. So these three pros are there if you join your September intake online. Okay, because as I always do the analysis of the things, I believe in showing you the cons as well. Let's talk about the cons. Number one, if you're doing a study online and you believe or you're thinking to finish your up to 50% of the course online, then what is the number one cons? You're not getting international exposure, right? When you come to Canada, uh, it's a complete different world. If you haven't traveled internationally, I was not traveled internationally that much. So for me, it was quite different. It's a different culture. Like there is a not cultural difference only, but the studies pattern is different too. You meet with the people of different nationalities, so it's your overall development. So if you do that online, you are missing that stuff, right? It means you're not getting international exposure if you are doing the studies online and moreover you are paying the fees for the like to be physical in Canada. Okay, so this is one cons which I believe you're not going to have international exposure if you're going to have that online course. Number two, number two con as per my analysis is that when you're in Canada, you meet with different people. Okay, when you meet different people, different professors, you do part-time job, then you get then you start understanding their work culture. Because if you work here part-time at a food court or any retail store, they give you the same respect. If you're working in an office as an officer or as a representative, there is no difference. They give you the equal respect, and work ethics are almost equal too. If it is a customer service, that is a customer service. So they give you the equal weightage, and you do networking as well. So you're gonna somewhere miss networking while being a student in Canada. And as I mentioned in my many videos as well, the networking helps you getting a job in Canada. This is one of the very important factor in getting your job. So networking you're gonna miss definitely somewhere, which is not that much possible online in comparison to the offline. If you will ask me, I got my job through networking only. Third con, if I will talk to you, when you will complete your studies up to 50% or say 50% online, you will just have 50%. Say your course is of 2 years, 1 year you have already completed online and you are left with 1 year only which you want to complete in Canada. Then in 1 year time, which I believe you're not gonna have that much time if you do that course for 2 years to get adjust in this environment and make like adapted for the new things. You will have everything on you, like cultural difference, networking, understanding the work culture, everything will come all together on you, and you have to do like everything boom boom boom. If you are not that fast, my dear friend, I think you will lack somewhere in finding the job. Because as per the situation right now we have in Canada, still unemployment rate is pretty high. Most of the Canadians are going back to their work, but still unemployment rate is pretty high. So when you will graduate from your college, In comparison to previous time, unemployment rate is going to be little bit high. So to get a job immediately would be a little bit difficult because you were not in Canada for that much time. That's all, my dear friends. I gave you three pros, three cons. This is a good side, this is a bad side. You compare both the things, but I think after comparing both the parts, I think doing online course is much better because the pros I think has more weightage in comparison to cons. But that is my recommendation, but the decision I leave on you because that is your life. These are my analysis. You think, you choose, and then that decide. Now I share the screen on CIC website which shows all these updates. Okay.
Immigration website, friends, where you will find updates regarding international students, foreign workers, everything over is here. Then you just go down. I will share the URL or link in the description box. You can check from there. So you will just go down, and here is the update for international students. It's written all over about the traveling and everything, but the main thing which I wanted to show, it's here. Online courses won't affect your PGWPP eligibility. WGWPP is a post graduation work permit program. So this is basically what when you get your work permit after the completion of your studies. So it clearly says here, if you have a study permit or been approved for a study permit for a program starting in the spring, summer or fall, but you can't travel to Canada at this time due to travel restrictions, you're also still eligible for the PGWPP. If you are in this situation, you may begin your classes while outside Canada and complete up to 50% of your program while outside Canada if you can travel to Canada sooner. So, if you will go through all this, this is written over here, and there are some more details also about the students who are in the Canada. So you just go through that, and this also support that your school will provide you the letter as well in case if you need due to COVID-19 for your other things. So
I hope, friends, this all discussion and sharing the screens and everything will help you in making your decision. If still you think that you are not able to take this decision or you are confused, uh, till whatever level I can help you, I will try to help you. Feel free to comment or ask any question. I'm here to help you only. That's all, my dear friends. Thank you so much. Bye bye.